rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place B, what's good? It's your number one Chief Rocker, Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Morning Time show, the Knicks Morning Drive. I am the number one Chief Rocker in Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Salute, salute, salute. Good mornings. Good mornings. Good mornings. If you got somewhere to be by 9 o'clock, you are late. If you have somewhere to be by 9 o'clock, you running a little late. Yeah, man. Salute Knicks fans. Salute NBA fans. Right? Salute NBA fans. What's good? It's game day, everybody. It's game day. Get your game face on. Get your game face on. Right, let me salute the chat. Salute Andios is in the building. The original R&B sensation DSJ is in the building. Corey Lee in a place to be. What's good? Simply the Intellect is in the building. Salute, salute. Simply the Intellect. Bruh. The price for golf clubs is outrageous. Simply the Intellect. I looked at a tailor-made driver and it will cost me $700. Simply the Intellect. A driver will cost me $700. And see, here's the thing with that. The $700 part doesn't bother me as much as this. This time next year, they'll have another driver out that'll cost $750. That's what bothers me. Every year or two, I'll buy a driver and knowing that it has an expiration date on it. I'm swinging an expiration date. Prices legitimately are bonkers. A pair of FootJoy, for those that know, they know. A pair of FootJoy can cost you $224. Corey Lee's talking about tariffs. Tariffs. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, y'all. So it's game day. Knicks versus Pistons at the Garden tonight, 7:30 on TNT. And just want to speak to a few things, right? So just going to be here for a little bit because, hey, Virtuoso in the building. Salute, Coach in the building. Just want to speak to a few things because I think we are probably going to wind up broadcasting 4 times today. So I got to kind of stretch these things out because I do have like I still have things to do too, right? So we just did Vibes and Stuff. Make sure you check out Vibes and Stuff in the mornings, 7:45 to 8:45 a.m. What you're watching now, the Knicks Morning Drive, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every morning. This week, anyway. It's this week. We're going to try to do it this week unless something changes. Then we're going to broadcast the game on Playback TV from 7:30 to about 10 o'clock. And then probably from about 11:30 to 1:30, we'll do the Knicks at Night podcast and start the cycle all over again. Right? Hey, look at Coach. Coach said, just find out. Okay, all right. I see. Big boy. Me and Coach. Hey, listen. I'm going to just say this before I seriously get into this Knicks and Pistons bag. Yo, it's not even fair how much fun me and Coach can have together. It's something like, man, organic. It's almost like me and Corey Lee. It ain't like me and Corey Lee yet, but it's getting there. It's kind of close. Coach is hilarious, man. Coach, that's my guy. I honestly think me and Coach were probably brothers from another, basically. Right? Brothers from another. Right. So, so just real quick, just want to talk about the Pistons thing, right? Just want to talk about the Pistons thing real quick. I know the Pistons are going to come out with increased intensity, right? That's what teams do when they lose, right? Right. Teams lose in a playoff series, they adjust or readjust, make an adjustment so that they won't lose 2 in a row in the playoffs. Because momentum is everything in the playoffs. Momentum is everything in the playoffs. Right. So just want to say something. So I thought about what we mentioned last night about adjusting to the perspective adjustments, preparing yourself for things that's seen and unseen. And I think our tag man is going to be vitally important. Hey, look who it is.
Morning, boss.
Hey, Sunshine, how you doing? Smiley face.
Still recovering from WrestleMania, but I'm fine.
All right. Oh, good. So my thoughts on game 2 are these. I think the Pistons are going to come out with a level of intensity and energy, and they're going to expect the Knicks to try to match it. And I think the Knicks are going to match their energy with execution and steadiness. Because the thing is, teams that play off of emotion, once their emotional fire is doused, they generally don't have a plan B. Hey, look who it is. It's the retrosexual in the building. Coach Mel P. with positivity early in the mornings.
Yes, sir. Morning.
still exhaust.
Yeah, salute, man. Salute. Fritz Alcindor is in the building. Salute. Hey, man. Hey, yo, hey, and Fritz, I don't know, Fritz. Hey, bro. Fritz, the subs thing, I'm just going to say this to everybody that's subscribing to the channel. I'm assuming that I'm being introduced to a new audience, right? I'm assuming that somehow the channel is being introduced to a new audience. I had a beef with YouTube, and basically it was my fault. I view YouTube as an adversary when they are indeed a partner. And so I did everything to kind of, I'm going to beat myself up here. And then I forget, in a partnership, it's give and take on both sides, right? And so what I'm assuming now is, with me coming to my senses and being positive, abiding by the YouTube guidelines, like no swearing and all types of things, that, you know, we're on that road to whatever the number is, because we're being introduced to a new audience, and people generally like what they see. So they they hit the subscribe button. They like seeing Coach and Uncle Freezy and Metz and Corey Lee and others. They kind of enjoy it. And so they subscribe and turn all their notifications on and things like that, because they want to rock with us. Just gonna say it that way. It's just something like, I don't know what the secret sauce is. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. And so if you're new here and you're trying to figure out what this ball of energy is, it's us. It's this product. Yep. So, and if you like what you see, hit the like button, come out, hang out with us, because we are legit putting our best foot forward so that we can best serve the people, and that's y'all. Coach, what's good, man? Seems like I just saw you, bro.
Man, time flies when you're having fun.
Vibes and stuff.
That was a catchy little tune.
Yeah, bro, I promise you that's fire, bro. But yeah, hey, y'all, for those don't know the vibes and stuff. Yo, Coach, you mind if I play just a little snippet of it?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I don't want to put you on the spot, bro.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a show off. You can.
Yeah, well, let's show off then.
Yeah. This is vibes and stuff. Check it out.
We're diving in where the world collide. Culture's gone, it's a crazy ride. Music's pumping, food's on the plate. We're vibing here, let's celebrate. Vibes and stuff, we keep it real.
Vibes and stuff, we keep it real, baby. Y'all heard?
Yeah. The rap.
Yeah.
If y'all want to hear the rest of it, you got to come check us out.
Yeah, I got to come check us out. Enjoy the conversations, things of that sort. Yeah, man.
Vibes and stuff, keeping it real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Bobby
man. That's like that neo soul joint, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Bobby Caldwell. That's right, I'm dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm just about to let you know that the Knicks will win. We'll be 2-0.
Hey. So, yeah, man. So, you jumped in late last night. Not late, but in terms of the show length, you came a little bit late last night on the tail end of the show, and we kind of heard what you were saying about the about what the Knicks should do to adjust for Game 2. You mind elaborating on it for those that missed the morning show? I mean, missed the night show?
Well, as far as I don't think personally we should adjust too much defensively. Like I really think keeping OG on Cade needs to keep happening. We obviously need to close out on them shooters better, like always. But I don't think that Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley are going to hit those shots because,
At least not on the constant.
yeah, they're not. That's not their mo. But a lot of people were, getting upset because, Detroit was scoring a little bit. They were getting, had a little bit of open shots here and there. But that's how I got to give Tibbs a little bit of credit. That's how they schemed it out. They, just like teams want to try to make Josh Hart beat them instead of Brunson or Cat, Tibbs schemed it where Cade Cunningham wasn't going to beat us. It was going to have to be Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Right.
And if those three guys can still take over a playoff caliber team and win games, they wouldn't have ended up as throw-ins in deals on a young Detroit.
Yeah.
They'd still be part of
Denver or Philadelphia.
The traditionally stronger rosters that they were on before.
Right.
So, like, the thing is, they're consistent. My thing is, I don't want our knee-jerk reaction to be throw in a better defense of group. Because we don't need – our offense is good enough to outscore Detroit. That's my thing. Yes, I don't want to be lazy on D and let them make shots, but each series is different. How we're going to play against Detroit is going to be the same as now. We don't want to be in a score fest with Boston.
Right.
We're going to need more stops. We don't want to be in a score fest with Cleveland. We might not want to be in a score fest with maybe Indiana or someone else. Who else it might be. So right now we're playing Detroit, and on paper, on the court, we have more consistent offensive weapons than they do.
Right. Okay.
And if we're not comfortable saying that, then we're not meant to win this series. We're not meant to go far in the playoffs.
Right.
We've seen it all year. And the other part I was saying is we just need Cat and Brunson to do the things they always do. And we need either Bridges or OG to step up and have that scoring. And we need one guy off the bench to give us a spark. And this last game, that was Cam. It was a little spurt in the game where Mitch gave us a little spark, stunk back. He has a couple blocks.
Yeah.
So it's these little bench moments we need, just like Malik Beasley gave Detroit their little bench spark. If you look at the landscape of all the playoff teams, every team had a guy come off the bench, do a little something.
I gotta take a quick call.
All right, man. Like the Heat, like Cleveland, Ty Jerome went off for them yesterday off the bench.
Yeah. Oh, did he go off?
Yeah, he had like 28 points in 26 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man. So it comes down to I don't know if it's something like if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Like I think the illusion that Detroit was in the game and they were taking control of the game and when they took that little lead.
Yeah,
It was not. It was more. They had guys making more shots than they normally make, and our guy that normally makes shots wasn't making them at the time.
right.
That's what it looked like to me. Like it wasn't a scheme thing. And then it started happening. They're guys that usually miss, like Tobias, and they started coming back down to earth with their shooting. And our guys started shooting how we're supposed to shoot. And then the world fixed itself,
Right. I legitimately think it was as simple as a veteran team. It's the rest versus rust argument.
Yep.
Right. That's what I think. Coach, you remember that? The rest versus rust? Like, how much rest do you need before you start getting rusty?
right?
That's what I think it ultimately came down to offensively. Right. A young team, they, what I'm saying, they won't get rusty because they're a new product. Right. But a veteran team just needs that. They need to stay in the flow. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in that flow. You know what I'm saying? That basically what it is Detroit. They came down and they knocked down some shots. They got some unexpected looks they didn't expect to get, and they knocked down those open gym looks. And then once the defense adjusted to them, right? Once we tightened the screws on them, they were looking around at each other crazy, looking fool in the face because they couldn't figure out an answer.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, I was hot and now I'm not. How come I'm not hot anymore?
And you actually answered the other part of the question that we were just talking about. Well, the other thing that you're noticing is if you look at the three guys that really the only three that played well for them were their three veterans that have played in the playoffs before. They were ready to go.
Right.
Because they've been there, done that. So all of a sudden, Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., those three guys have been in playoffs before.
Yep.
None of their young guys showed up to play.
Right.
I mean, you look at our team. The one that's a little wet behind the ears as far as being counted on in the playoffs, Deuce McBride.
Right.
He did not look good. I mean, he did a couple things defensively here and there, but I don't think he hit the rim the whole night.
The whole night, man.
I don't think he hit the rim on his shots. I know he had 2 air balls, and he was open. But hopefully he bounces back, and it was a blessing in disguise because of how he was shooting or not shooting. Cam Payne stayed in when Brunson came in, and that wound up being the turning point of the night.
Yeah.
So
you think
which
that
I've been calling for the whole season.
So you thought that was the turning point, right? I think there were a few, and I think you may have missed this point, Coach. So I just turned the camera off for a second because I think my internet is intermittent. This just started happening like a couple of months ago. Been rocking for like 7 years, and all of a sudden something. But anyway, I don't think that was the turning point. Right? But hear me out, because I'm not mentioning that it wasn't a great moment, because I think your analysis is correct. But hear me out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When championship teams string together moments like that, we call that championship DNA, right? Like the 21 zip run, Mitchell Robinson put back dunk at the rim, emphatic. Karl Anthony Towns' defense, in stretches in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Your 7 foot, 250 plus pound center getting 5 steals, leading to transition, right? Your best player, in theory, your best player goes from being ice cold to scorching hot, right? And so when other teams do that, we call that championship DNA. When the Knicks do it, we argue over which one of those was the turning point, right? I think,
Or we waited too long to wake up.
yeah, right. And so what I'm going to say to everybody is those string of events that you just saw, and yes, the pun is intended. Notice I said string, and I'm going to mention DNA, right? So those string of events is championship DNA, but we have not seen that from this team because the team has never been in that place to show it, right? Because if you show that in the playoff, in the regular season, it looks like a such and such and such. But we play the Wizards tomorrow, right? But we showed that in game 1 in a series where a lot of people around the world are actually rooting for the underdog, right? And so as Knicks fans, I think we shouldn't embrace it as one turning point. I think we should embrace it as a string of events that show you that the Knicks this team does have championship DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I disagree with you, because I think that with the point you made is a great point. I just think the events in a string, like you saw, and it wasn't like it was a cascading thing, of course, because we're playing a young team that emotionally couldn't deal with these events happening. But at the same time, the Knicks, all these different events were different events in their own space that led to a series of events that kind of put this young team away emotionally, packed them up, basically.
Yeah, like, because the same thing could be said. How many times have we played one of these teams that we haven't won against this year? Like, for instance, the Houston game, we had that in hand, and they found a way to go on a run and beat us. The Cleveland game earlier in the year, that Boston game, we were in it. We were in the lead late in the game. Later in the game, we got close again. Like, when the other team does what we just did to Detroit, when the Houston and the Cleveland and the Boston and the OKC, when one of them do that, what we just did, people are like, oh, they're just better than us, and we're not good enough yet, you know. So the same could be said now for Detroit. You know, they're not good enough. It doesn't matter. That run's going to happen, and when the better team or the team with championship aspirations is on the court, whether it happens in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, there's going to be a 5 to 8 minute stretch of the game where they impose their will and show who the better team is.
Right.
That's where a lot of these games are won and lost. You know, we've seen both teams. It's just like boxing. You know, you're trading blows and boom, 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 and then all of a sudden, the better fighter or the guy with the bigger punch, and in our case, it's the Knicks. You know, we just stunned them. You know, it's not a standing 8 count yet or nothing, but
right,
it's definitely, we got them on the ropes.
But they respect our power, though.
Exactly. Now they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, like, yeah.
You know, they thought, you know, the way they were acting, especially after that regular season game, and you know, all the stuff. They're believing all the hype that big dummy over inside the NBA saying Detroit's going to beat us. They start believing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And how Cade Cunningham's going to do this and do that. Even in the post-game shows you watch, some of these other internet personalities and podcasts that have shows, you know, the Shannon Sharps of the world and all them guys that they talk about, like them guys didn't watch that game like we watched it.
No.
They would talk. I kept hearing how Cade Cunningham had an off night, or Cade Cunningham had a bad shooting night. The hell he didn't. OG Anunoby locked his behind down. No one, you didn't hear anyone talk about. Well, I mean, we talk about what OG did to him. The commentators were saying it in the game, but you never see these so-called experts talking about what OG did to Cade. They're saying that Cade had the young man had a rough first playoff game. Yeah, because he had the
best defender in the
world locking his behind down.
Yeah.
How about that, Jack?
Yeah.
And guess what? He's gonna be there again tonight.
Yeah. And you know what? And here's the thing: when you have an advantage, say when you have an advantage, right? When you have a built-in advantage, right? You can exploit that built-in advantage every night. Mm-hmm. But when you face a team that neutralizes your advantage, Cade is 6'6", 235. The Pistons say that all the time. Cade is 6'6.5", 235 pounds. That's Cade. I don't know what ESPN has listed, but all year long, right? They were like, Cade is 225. Cade keeps saying, man, I haven't been 225 since Oklahoma. Like that's what he, his thing, right? You have a dude 6'6.5", 235 pounds, and he's at point guard. He has a decided advantage against other point guards, right? But then OG Anunoby is 6'7", 240.
Yeah.
Is more athletic than he is, longer arms than he has, defensive instincts. For as smart as Cade is as a offensive microprocessor, OG is the same thing defensively, right? And so if OG neutralizes Cade's offense to an extent, right? And Cade neutralizes OG's offense to an extent. Don't that play in our favor? Cade had 21 points and 12 assists, and those numbers were like so late in the game that he basically stat padded his way there to 21 and 12.
Yeah, he had that bank lucky three.
Yeah.
That could put him over 20 points.
The bank was open on the Sunday.
And we want to talk about first options. Here's the thing. Whether it's him having a rough shooting day or OG's making it rough on him, the thing is where we have the advantage. When Cade is getting locked down, their next option is who?
Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have this established second scorer that's like a guarantee.
Not yet. They have one. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
And Jaden Ivey. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, with us, even though Jalen Brunson, he's our first option, whether people want him to be or not. Detroit didn't make Jalen Brunson have a rough day.
No.
Jalen Brunson was just missing shots he normally makes.
Yeah.
He was missing little floaters and little quick threes, When he started off like 3 for 10 or whatever, maybe 2 or 3 of them they defended really well and make him miss, on some of his drives and stuff. But a lot of those little inside the paint shots that
Drives and stuff. We keep it real.
like he usually makes those. But but we're in our case, we have someone like Cat and OG that are gonna step up and score too. Because what we haven't talked about is the foul trouble they were getting into.
Right.
When you got both their centers with 9 combined fouls, it's because they're having to defend the most skilled center in the league on offense. And they were letting them play.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
So let me ask you this. How did you like Cat switching on the Cade? So okay. So let me say this. I don't like it, but if I have to deal with it, I like what I saw.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Cat took the little personal challenge thing, showing maybe he's taking it personal, or I don't know if it's in him, or maybe he's just now feeling comfortable in the flow of the defense and his role in the scheme. But man, he looked pretty good on defense this past game.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get 4 or 5 steals just on accident. I mean, he got a bunch of those because he made a good decision. He had 2 blocks.
Right.
So, and Mitch, the short time he played, he had 2 blocks.
An emphatic putback dunk that just took the heart out of the business.
And it's like Josh Hart woke up right when he needed to for us. Now, he started slow because, he got that early foul trouble. I don't know. Bridges just was, I don't know what he was doing. But the thing is, he made, here's the thing about what I was talking about. You always want to play a complete game. I know it's a 48-minute game. I get that.
Yeah.
But we don't have to be the best defense in the league for 48 minutes. You have to get timely stops. Like when you have the offense that we have, I'm not saying we need to take plays off, but when it comes down to that second half in the fourth quarter, that's when we got to really buckle down and get stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we were being aggressive. And the thing is, when you create turnovers like we did, like a couple of them late in the game were them getting desperate and they threw a sloppy pass or two. But we forced a lot. Like we actually forced a lot of them turnovers with like legit steals. I haven't seen that many poke away steals in a while.
Oh, the OG steal on Cade on the side.
Oh yeah.
Picked him clean.
Yeah.
Larceny, bro.
Even Cat had 2 clean picks.
Yeah, man. Passing lanes
like
to see a 7-footer get passing lane steals, bro, is impressive. Usually their steals are somebody's pressured and they can swipe at the ball and get it. Cat intercepted 2 passes, bro.
Right. And then the thing I was alluding to before, and you said you touched on it last night, about timely stops. Like, it doesn't have to be from people that are traditionally a great defender. Like we saw Brunson have moments of good defensive decisions, or his, when he takes that charge inside the paint, just underneath the free throw line. That was a big charge. Then you got Campaign does the same thing when he's in. And then, Campaign is known for being a lockdown defender, but he had that huge, he was the reason why they had that 5-second violation, because he was hustling and he was in the zone and just getting in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's where for us, like, Campaign's been there. He's been in the finals. He's been a contributor for a team that went to the finals.
Let me stop you right there. I'm gonna ask Mets. Mets, what do you think about Cameron Payne? Like, say, for like the past 3 years or so. What's your thoughts on Cameron Payne?
He's a good role player, decent off the bench. Putting him in a starting role is sketchy at best, but I think he's good at what he does. Getting those decent elbow, wing shots from behind the arc, forcing defenses to contesting shots on the defensive end. I mean, Tibbs won't play him all that much, but what he does get, unless there's an injury to the front line, but he gets the job done.
Sorry.
To me, that's Campaign in a nutshell.
Okay. Coach, I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't like Cameron Payne until this year when we had him. I didn't like him in Phoenix. I didn't like him in Philly. I didn't like him in OKC. And it's not because of I think he was a dirty player or anything like that. He was always like
pesky,
a splinter in your hand. Yeah,
pesky. Like that gnat, that little buzzing in your ear.
That little pebble in the shoe you couldn't get out, right?
Yeah. But now that he's our splinter in your hand, pesky player, little pebble in your shoe that you can't get out, I think I love Cameron Payne. Like I legitimately can't see a Knicks team going forward without Cameron Payne. Right.
I mean, not energy,
because,
bro.
Not because he is 6'7", jump out of the gym, hyper athletic, lockdown defender. It's because I think he is, how like every team needs a certain type of guy on it.
Yeah.
Right. Like the Lawrence Tears team needs a Corey Lee. Right. Like legit, Lawrence Tears needs a Corey Lee type of person on the team, because Corey Lee is not Uncle Freezy and he don't pretend to be. Corey Lee is not Coach and he don't pretend to be. But at the same time, Coach and Uncle Freezy don't pretend to be Corey Lee, which makes Lee a fit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what he is, because Cameron Payne is not Jalen Brunson, and he don't pretend to be. Cameron Payne is the best version of Cameron Payne, and without a shadow of a doubt, that man wants to win.
Yep. And he wants to be like the littlest things. But what I love about it, like the little things are important to him.
Right.
Like sometimes when he almost gets a steal or he makes a small little mistake, you can see like when the camera goes on him, he's like, he claps and he talks to himself.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like when he's shooting his free throws, or just like his little mannerisms and the things he does, like before and after the play, like some of the corny things that iHeart used to do when he was here, like just the little teammate things, the things that like not a lot of people look at.
Like, yo, coach, let me jog your memory. Right. A team would leave Isaiah Hartenstein wide open from three, right? Because they know that he won't shoot it, even though he knows he can shoot it. But Tibbs wouldn't let him shoot it, right? There's like this thing. So Hartenstein would roll to the rim, and teams would foul Hartenstein with all their energy and knock him to the floor. And he would just get up and be clapping. Let's go, Isaiah! Let's go, Isaiah! Like I see him do it. Like I so legit see him do it live, like 7 to 8 times. And I'm like, this dude is clapping to himself, getting himself hyped up. Like this dude is like, let's go, Isaiah. I'm like, who is Isaiah? This dude talking to himself.
Yeah.
Who is he talking to? He just called his own name.
Yeah, but campaigns like that, friend, like when you know things about to go down, he's gonna be there with you, you know.
Right.
Like he's that. Remember the dudes from House Party?
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy that was talking in the background. He's gonna kick your ass, you know. Like,
yeah. Bow-legged Lou. Yeah. Bow-legged Lou. Yeah.
He's like that guy. He's like your hype man.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I don't wish this on Deuce, and I'm not saying he has no value when he doesn't, but there's going to be a game sometime somewhere where we're going to need 2 or 3 threes from Deuce off the bench. You know, I'm not just saying kick Deuce to the curb.
Nah.
But like you were alluding to earlier, we're the older, more experienced team. A lot of our guys have been in playoff experience.
Yeah.
And another guy in our team campaign's been in there.
Yeah.
So that's why this was just a drop in the bucket to him.
Yeah.
The stage wasn't too big. It just seemed like Deuce was a little tight, you know.
He'd be all right.
He had a couple of assists, you know, here and there. But he's still a little sketch to me, ball handling wise, and making little decisions, you know, passing the ball. And he shot horribly in that game. He had a couple open threes that he airballed.
Yeah.
But Tibbs actually made the correct rotation move.
Hey,
at the end of the game.
Before let me say this though. Tibbs made the incorrect move first.
Yes, he did.
Right? He made the incorrect move. And listen, but here's the thing about the incorrect move, right? The incorrect move was only incorrect after he saw the result. Right? After you saw the result, you're like, we thought about this thing. The coaching staff thought maybe we should go with size versus the Pistons instead of skill versus the Pistons, right? That's the reason why he put in Deuce instead of Shamet, right? And I mean, put Shamet in instead of Deuce. I'm sorry.
Right.
Put Shamet in to match their size and athleticism versus Deuce, because Deuce can be taken advantage of because of his size. We put Shamet in there, and it was like Ringling Brothers, Bonham and Bailey Circus. Everybody, if y'all notice, if go back and watch, and I'm not saying Shamet's a bad player, and I'm not knocking the Knicks' effort, but what I'm saying is during the course of the game, you'll make some decisions. Some will work and some won't, right? When Shamet was in the game, y'all noticed Malik Beasley got those 2 pinned down 3-point looks. One of them made, and the other one, I can't remember if he made it or missed it or not. I know Tobias Harris made a 3 while he was in there. And so you're like, they're sorting out 3-point defense because of Shamet. And Tibbs took him out. smartly, right? Smartly, Tibbs took him out, and he didn't play Shamet anymore for the rest of the game. And you noticed when Shamet was away, the Knicks dog walked him.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, man. And it's not a big deal. I'm not criticizing Tibbs. Some things will work and some things won't. It depends on how long you let those things fester. And he didn't. Hey, Coach, we got about 2 minutes. You and Matt's got something else to say about the Pistons game tonight?
I'm just gonna say this: Knicks just need to do what they did last time, but do it earlier than late. I mean, sure, better late than never, but don't give the fan base a heart attack, please.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's a playing with your food situation. Like I said, we talked about earlier. When you're the better team, and when you're the team that has championship aspirations or wants to go far in the playoffs, you're supposed to be the team that can take over the game for a 5 to 8 minute stretch and blow the game wide open. It's nice when it happens a little earlier to,
Right.
For our own sense of relief. But we have seen sometimes when we start off too good, sometimes we let them sneak back. So the timing of it, I don't care when it is. We just got to do what we do well and not worry about what the Pistons might do.
Okay.
I think in this case, we have to be this best version of ourselves as we can be, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right. Well, on that note, everybody, we're gonna get out of here because it's gonna be a super duper long day today. Broadcasted. So this is our second broadcast of the day. We're gonna broadcast on Playback TV the game, and then the Knicks at Night podcast. So it's gonna be a super long joint. So I gotta run so I can get some things done during the day. Gotta pay some bills. Y'all know how that go. Thank you everybody for coming through, rocking with us. It's our first time being back in a long time, man. Peace, everybody.
Peace.